Hi, this is Susanna from Hold It Right There Sewing Patterns. Welcome back to my Delmar Wristlet sew-along tutorials. To make the Delmar Wristlet, you will need to purchase the sewing pattern from my website linked below. This is the last video in the series, and in it I will walk you through the steps to the final construction of your Delmar Wristlet. I'm going to begin with instructions for creating the optional wristlet tab. These are found on page 12 of your sewing pattern. To add the wristlet tab, you will need piece H, and you need to place it wrong side up. Fold in and press the side raw edges over the interfacing toward the center. Fold the wristlet tab in half again and press. Use a 1/8 inch seam allowance and top stitch both the long left and right sides of the wristlet tab. Insert the top stitched wristlet tab through the 1/2 inch D-ring. Fold the wristlet tab in half, matching the raw edges. Then pin or clip the wristlet tab to the left side of the exterior front zipper band. The D-ring should be facing toward the center of the bag front, with the wristlet tab centered midway on the zipper tab. Use a 1/4 inch seam allowance to sew the wristlet tab to the zipper band. We will now resume the bag construction. Locate your exterior slip pocket and place it on top of the exterior bag front. Match the edges and pin or clip in place. Using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, baste the exterior slip pocket to the front panel. Locate your prepared zipper. Right sides together, pin the zipper to the top edge of the front exterior panel, making sure that the zipper is centered between the 5/8 inch markings. Make sure the zipper is placed wrong side up and the zipper pull is on the left side. Pin or clip the zipper to the panel. Sew using a 1/8 inch seam allowance. To help maneuver around the zipper pull while I'm attaching the zipper, I like to begin sewing about 2 inches from the zipper pull, and I begin sewing with the zipper closed. Then I go back and open the zipper fully and sew that first little segment that I skipped. This way the zipper pull is completely out of the way. Locate your lining eye panel without the pocket and place it right sides together on top of the exterior front. Pin or clip along the top edge. Once again, maneuver the zipper pull out of the way as needed. Sew using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. The zipper is now sandwiched between the exterior front and lining panels. Turn right side out and press. Do not top stitch the panel yet, wait until later in the instructions to do so. Since the zipper I'm using has metal teeth, I can iron directly on top of it without damaging the zipper. If you are using a zipper with a nylon coil, use a pressing cloth to protect the coils from melting while you iron. Locate the exterior back panel. Right sides together, pin or clip the zipper to the top edge of the exterior back panel. The zipper is facing wrong side up and centered between the 5/8 inch markings. Pin or clip across the top edge. Sew using a 1/8 inch seam allowance. Locate the remaining eye lining panel. This is the one with the pocket. Right sides together, place the lining panel on top of the exterior back. Pin or clip across the top edge. Sew using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Turn your wristlet panels right side out and press well. Again, if you're using a zipper with a nylon coil, be careful not to touch the iron to the coils to avoid damaging the zipper. Beginning at the zipper tape, top stitch 1/8 inch from the zipper edge, pivoting to stitch across the zipper tab and top stitching along the opposite side, ending at the zipper tape. While top stitching your wristlet, it is helpful to open the zipper to maneuver around the zipper pull. Take your time while you're top stitching and use the hand wheel when you're pivoting over the zipper tab to get the best results. Be sure that you do not top stitch beyond the 5/8 inch markings. This will keep your wristlet from having dented in edges at the top sides. Give a few back stitches at the beginning and end to lock your stitches in place. Keep the zipper open for the next steps. Right sides together, pin or clip the exterior panels together, and pin or clip the lining panels together. Be sure the zipper seam allowance is folded toward the lining. Using a 1/2 inch seam allowance, sew around the edge of the bag. Do not sew the notched out corners, and leave a 5 inch opening in the lining for turning. To form the boxed corners at the base of the bag, carefully match the side seam with the bottom seam on the exterior panel and on the lining panel, and you're going to do this on all 4 corners. The seam allowances will be facing in opposite directions. As you can see, I'm keeping the bag wrong side out and reaching through the opening in the lining to form the boxed corners. Pin or clip each of the 4 boxed corners in place. Sew each boxed corner using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Before I turn my bag right side out through the opening in step 62, I'm going to fold in and press the opening at the bottom edge of the lining. I find it easier to do this now, although you can do it in step 64 as instructed in your pattern. Next, I'm going to trim the seam allowances at the 4 boxed corners. I'm not going to trim the seam allowances at the base, and I'm going to wait to trim the side seam allowances. Now I'm going to press open the seam allowance at the bottom exterior side of the bag. I'm working from the wrong side of the bag. I put my hand through the opening in the lining and then touch my iron against the seam allowance to press it open at the base of the bag. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to glue a piece of ultra-firm stabilizer to the wrong side of the exterior base, and if the seam allowance is pressed, it's much easier to glue that ultra-firm stabilizer to the base. I also just lightly touch up the seam allowances on the sides. It just gives a good finish to your wristlet. With the seams pressed, I'm now ready to trim down the side seam allowances. I'm using pinking shears to prevent fraying, especially my lining, but you can use regular scissors as well. Finally, now we're ready to turn the bag right side out through the opening at the bottom of the lining. As you're turning the bag right side out, push out the boxed corners in the lining and in the exterior, and also push out the edges at the zipper. To add stiffness to the base of the bag, reach inside the opening in the lining and glue an 8.5 by 1 1/4 piece of ultra-firm stabilizer to the wrong side of the exterior bottom. I'm using fabri-tac glue on the stabilizer. Reaching through the opening in the lining, I'm going to push the glued ultra-firm stabilizer against the base of the exterior bag, and I'm doing this on the wrong side of the exterior bag, pushing against that seam allowance that I ironed open really well earlier. Allow this to dry before moving on to the next step. I like to put an object on top of the stabilizer just to weigh it down while it's drying and keep it in place. Once the stabilizer glue has dried, you're ready to close the opening at the base of the lining. If you haven't already done so, fold in and press the opening that you left at the base of the lining, pin or clip in place. Using a 1/8 inch seam allowance, sew the opening closed. Push the lining back down inside the wristlet, and then gently press out any wrinkles on the exterior of your bag. Your bag is completely finished and you're ready to make the wristlet strap. To make the wristlet strap, please see my video how to add a wristlet strap to the Winslet Wallet. This video tutorial is linked below. This strap is made in exactly the same way and same dimensions as the instructions given in your Delmar Wristlet sewing pattern. Congratulations on completing your own Delmar Wristlet. I hope you found this video tutorial series helpful, and if so, please like and subscribe. Happy sewing!